Woohoo! The crank in the block goes round and round, round and round. Good morning, people. We have a few things to talk about. Gotta stop working on the Charger, unfortunately. I've wet sanded it and buffed it out with some heavy cut, and then buffed it out with, okay, so we went, not these two. We did the heavy cut. Where is the bottle for the heavy cut? Ah, there it is. So, we did the Speed Pro Professional Compound, okay? Did the whole car. Went to this one just to see, you know, if I needed to keep going with more heavy cut. And I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but I sure can. God, let me find some spots here where you can see it. Well, maybe not, but it's not as shiny as I want, and there are still little swirl marks in the paint from, I don't think it's under the paint, I think it's on top. So I think it's from the wet sanding. So I'm gonna need to go ahead and keep wet sanding this. I need to do it again with 2000, and then I'll probably have to bite the bullet and do it with some 3000. It's not the best paint job in the world. I'm not a painter, but sometimes I do get a wild hair and want things to be really, really right. As right as they can be, you know. So I think I can get a better shine out of this paint, and I think I can get more of these wet sand swirls out of it. So I'm going to hit it with 2000, then do 3000, and then after that, or even before that, if I get sick and tired of wet sanding this car, I'm just going to hit it again with some heavy cut, then go down with some dual action cleaner polish, and then probably another step and wax it and polish it and just call that good, because the paint isn't that great and the body work wasn't perfect, and that's just that. Okay, another point of order. Look at the parts down here. Guess what they came from? The deranged goat. The deranged goat has yet reared its ugly head with another problem. The manifold air pressure sensor went out. I'm just driving along, minding my own business, going to work. Dies on me going up a hill, big long hill. So I got to move over 2 lanes because it's a 3-lane highway. I move over to all the way over. It's dead. So I crank on it a second. Boom, it starts back up. Huh, that's strange. Put it in gear, take off. I'm going down the freeway. Now I'm hitting the flat spot of the freeway where it's, you know, good 6-7 miles of just flat. So I put my foot on the throttle and it just falls on its face. After about 1/3 throttle, right around maybe 2,500 RPMs, it just falls. Falls on its face. Let off again, picks back up. So I'm thinking, oh great, you know, fuel pump's not pumping enough fuel, it's dying. But then I thought, no, and there was a check engine light that had come on. So I had to check that, but I couldn't check it at work. I had to wait till I got home. And it died on me on the way home. But then I remembered the manifold air pressure sensor kind of did the same thing on my Jeep twice. So I did check the code. The code did say something about manifold air pressure sensor, and it said something else, which is probably just a byproduct of that going out. So I get home. Hey, I got 4.7 liter parts everywhere. Yay. Good, lucky for me, I keep all these things laying around. Okay. So, which one? Okay. This one came out of the Durango, right? So I go to my 99 because it was the easiest one to get to. I already had the manifold off of it. So I popped this manifold air pressure sensor off. I go to put it in. Nope. That's different. This is the one that goes in it. That's the one out of a 99 Jeep. So this is an 04 Durango 4.7. This is a 99 Jeep. Still 3 prongs on the inside. What could be different except for the plug? So I go to my 03. Okay, I got an 03. That should be close enough to the 04, but it's an 03 HO. So we go to the 03 HO. Oh, look, it's the same. It's got 3 prongs. It's the same oval, but the locking tab, or the, I don't know, locating tab, is on the opposite side. And I can't put it on. And I'm like, holy crud, I've got all these parts cars and none of them are fitting. So I went ahead and ordered a new one. That should be here tomorrow. And then we'll see if I was correct with the manifold air pressure sensor. I think I am. They do go out. It went out on that one twice. And so here we are. This one's going to sit till tomorrow. FYI, I did use the head gasket stop leak in this thing months ago because it was just chewing through fluids or coolant. And check it out, it works. I haven't had a coolant issue with this in months. Well, I did have to change obviously the radiator. I changed because it was toast. That was a given that I was going to lose fluid there. But even after I put the new radiator in, I knew the head gasket was still, or one of these head gaskets or something was using fluid. But it stopped. Leak on the other radiator. So I can't get this thing fixed until mañana. So I can't work on that because I really need to start work on, you guessed it, the gold brick engine. We're getting towards the end of the summer. My goal was to have that engine rebuilt and put into the gold brick so that I can see if the transmission works. I did, you know, drive it around in the yard a little bit, but that's no indication that the transmission is going to be good. I also need to see, you know, check the brakes to see, you know, what's going to actually function on that thing besides, you know, a good motor. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to assemble this motor today, and we'll see what happens after that. We'll see you in a few. All right, just for an experiment, I took a brand new bearing. This is the main bearing. And let's turn it on, zero it out. .0965. Okay. Here's the one with, let's say, 250,000 miles on it. Let's do the same thing. Zero it out. .096. .096. Again, .096. Brand new one. 250,000 miles. Brand new. Zero it out. .965. Tain't nothing wrong with that bearing at all. 250,000 miles on that bearing. Brand new bearing. And I thought I was doing myself a favor just replacing them, you know, for peace of mind. I really don't have to. But I'm going to throw the new bearings in, and I'm going to keep those ones because those ones might end up in that one. I know the mains are gone on that because once it gets up to temperature and the first intersection I hit where I got to sit in idle on this car, the light starts to, oil light flashes. And then you got to bring up the RPMs to, you know, it idles at like 600 RPMs. You got to bring it up to about 1,000. That light will stop flashing. So I know the mains are gone on that one. That one's on its last legs. So that's why I need to get this 4.7 into that Jeep, get that Jeep running. Then I can take the motor out of this one, refresh it probably the same way I'm doing this one, and then put it back in that one, and who knows what's going to happen to it. I'm not ever going to get rid of it. I've owned that since it was brand new. I've owned that one since it was brand new. This one was only 15 years old when I got it. And of course, I've only had that for a year. Right on. Well, let's get back to it. We're gonna go ahead and use the new bearings. Cool. Righto. I don't know about you, but some things just amaze me sometimes. Okay, number 8 out of the gold brick 4.7 liter Jeep. Here's the bearings, the rods that came from this particular rod. 0.0595. Here's the other side. Oop. Let's clear it out. So, wait, there we go. 0.60. 5960. Okay, zero it out again. Make sure we're in there square. Brand new bearing, 0.058. Zero it out again. 0.0585. Okay. The new bearing. The old ones seem to have a little bit more to them than the new one. Crazy, huh? Never ceases to amaze me. Now, I probably should be using a micrometer and not a caliper, but I'm just trying to get an idea. Anyway, here we go. We're gonna put the new ones in anyway. Woohoo! The crank in the block goes round and round, round and round, smooth and round. All right, I've already got a few of those done. I thought I'd just turn the camera on, and for those of you who are not fluent in piston rings, it's real easy. Make sure that these little hooks are facing up. So you just drop that one in anywhere. You get your scraper ring. You get your scraper ring. There you go. And move it away from that thing, right? So then you get your scraper ring, get it started. Of course, it just make sure that they don't climb on each other over here. Come on, there you go. Okay, we got one. And then make sure that these are kind of away from each other as well, and everybody will be happy. There you go. Let me just slide that on. So basically, you kind of want to have these like this. Okay? Open, you know, and open, and an open. That way, everything's happy. Eventually, all these things are going to turn around and line up anyway, but to get started, do it like that. Okay? And we got the second ring over here. You know how you know it's a second ring? Because it says so on the package. And then, you know what side goes up? The side that says up, right there. How do they get that so small? I just don't understand. Anyway, get this one started in there. And just slide it right. Oop, it's in the wrong. Hey, you're in the wrong spot, fool. Right over here. There you go. Bam. Okay, I'll just come over here to this side. Okay, this ring is not marked with a dot or a laser or an up or a down, so it can go either way. And it's also not chamfered. You just roll that right around. There you have it. Nice. So I'll get this last one done, and we're gonna slide them in the hole. Yeah. All right, we got number one sitting in some oil, and while it sits there, I'm just gonna drop in the new bearing. And of course you want to set that bearing on a dry surface. Oil will eventually get in there, but you want that on a dry surface. And these bearings, the old bearings, have a keeper, a lock, keeps them from spinning, but they say that these new bearings don't have them. They don't need them for whatever reason. I don't like that idea, but that's how these new ones are. They don't have the anti-spinner in it. We'll find out if that is a factor or not. So, this is our number one. Make it so, number one. Okay, those aren't going to stay there. Anyway, so we take number one and we drain the oil from her. Nice. Nice and wet. Nice and slippery. Okay, lubrication for the rods. Let me get that done and we'll click you right back on. All right, we got our lubricated rod journals and we have our number one. I happen to put the face forward side of the piston where that is, so I know. And she's gonna slide right up in here. You don't want any gap between the head surface or the block surface and the block surface and the ring compressor, because that could be bad. And she just pops right in. Ah! 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 That was bad. That's not a real table. Oops. I dropped everything. Oh no. Yeah, that's not a table. Don't put heavy things on one end of it. Yeah. All right, I gotta move my makeshift table or else I'm just gonna do that again. Cool. No place to set these. I got no table. That's all full. That one's full. Everything's full. I guess I'll put it on my chair. All right. Nice. Well, there goes dumbass again. Don't knock things to the floor. Stop doing that. All right, of course I got no room. All right. Bearing still intact. Grease right there. Now these caps have to go on in the right direction, which would be this way. Same process. Drop things on the floor. Make sure you drop the shit on the floor as many times as you can. Where's Gulliver? This thing's getting old. You know how long I've had this ring compressor? Very, very long. I built my first engine. I had to get this. Datsun B210 A13. There we go. Don't set it on the side. You never learn, do you? Okay. She ready to slide in. This is towards the front. We're gonna need this. Crikey, crikey, crikey. And there we go. Well, I should probably be putting this together the other way, huh? One, two. Shall we go through the torquing process? Is that the right size? Nope, we need an 11. I just so happen to have one right here. And they are 20 pounds. And we are at 0 pounds because I always release the spring pressure. Release the Kraken! 0, that's a 20. That there be your 20. I'm getting hungry. I don't know about you guys. I'm getting hungry. All right, there we go. PSI. 20 PSI. One more time, check it out. 20. 20. All right. While I was looking for this pickup for the oil pump O-ring that I had dropped, lost it, I was going through my stuff, my 4.7 liter collection of seals and gaskets and all of that stuff in here. I found, wouldn't you know, I already had one of these gizmos, the map sensor. And it's the exact one that I need too. So this is the one that came out of the deranged goat. This one came out of the 99 Jeep. That's wrong. And this one came out of a 2003 Jeep, and it's absolutely the opposite. The locator is on the opposite side. Huh, what do you know about that? I already have one. Maybe that's gonna go in tonight. And I'll just send back the other one. Woo! All right, Crank's in, rod's in, oil pump's been primed. Oil pickup tube is in with new seal. What you know about that? All right, so I think I'm just gonna flip this thing over, take a break, and work on timing chains, heads, I don't know. I kind of like to put the heads on after that block is in the motor. I have to decide whether I want to do this or not. It's a real small engine compartment, and trying to get to the wiring in the back to try to keep everything lined up, trying to get the engine in all at the same time, it's kind of a pain in the butt. So I'll figure out what I want to do there before. Look at that, got some Gookumpucky on there. So anyway, I'll get it figured out and I'll let you know. Well, I forgot to put the windage tray slash gasket in there before I put the oil pickup, so I had to take the pickup off in order to get the windage tray gasket on and put it together. So that's all done now. Now I'm working on this. I'm getting a bit tired. Engine's getting closer and closer together. Yeah. Cool. We'll keep you updated. All right, it's the next morning and I would like to be working on this. Unfortunately, I have to be working on that. So I put the manifold air pressure sensor on it that the code reader said it wanted, and now it says camshaft, intermittent camshaft signal, blah blah blah, something something, and there it is right there. You got to go through the wheel well to get it. So I'll be replacing that. Luckily I've got a lot of these engines laying around. I can pull one out of those. And we'll see if the code changes yet again. All right, you guys are my witness. See what it says? Yesterday it was telling me it was the manifold air pressure sensor. Then I replaced that, and now it's telling me it's a camshaft position sensor. Bank A, blah, blah, blah. Well, I just replaced it. Let's see what happens. All right, before we get started, let's erase the code. All right, erase, done. All right, let's start her up. Okay, she starts out. Gonna throw me a code. Gonna throw a code. Come on. I dare ya. I dare you throw a code. Well, I'll be. Maybe it was a camshaft sensor. But why did it tell me it was a manifold air pressure sensor at first? Then it changed its mind. Maybe it was both. Who knows? It's fixed now. Let's get back to the other engine. That's how you do it. coming at you live.
Basically, you can't put the engine in because the transmission is too low.
Yes. And too far forward, but wow. Soft.
No damage. Oh, so soft. It's my favorite thing to lay on.
Yes. 2x6.
Specifically 2x6s, not 2x4s.
You can't see nothing, you can't use the bolts, and then like one time these things were not in the right place and the heads are so close to the firewall that I couldn't move them, so I had to jack the engine up and move that one over there. So but the exhaust should be movable.
It's not moving.
Okay. Well, we just leave the exhaust the way it is. Transmission?
The 2x4,
Ah.
the 2x6, the 2x6
Okay.
is pressing the transmission up, but it's also pressing a piece of the exhaust up.
All right, well, let's move that then.
Everything that's touching it. Where's a stool around here? I'm too short. Do you have a step stool?
We can link it over one more, and then we can lift it up, and then we can push that in. That transmission will move to do whatever we want it to do. Well, except for,
When it's having a lot of pressure on it, not so much.
so I need a bolt. If I remember right, like this.
Like rotate it.
Rotated, okay, it could be that too.
Because I don't think it's going to align going up or down, left or right. I think it needs to get rotated.
Okay, what type? What is it looking like now?
Very misaligned?
Yeah, because it looks rotated down here too.
The alignment's getting a little bit better, but it's still nowhere near. No. No. Wait, what did you do?
I think that did the twisting job there.
Oh, wait a minute. Some exhaust just popped out of nowhere. I think that did it. Yeah, there we go.
And, you know, everything in here has been pressure washed, but
Yeah.
wow, this thing is hot. This GoPro is killing me hot.
Oh, that's why that's up there. Sometimes you just need to stand in the engine compartment.
Yeah.
Okay, that's on there.
Okay, now there's going to be bigger ones. These two bigger ones, I don't know exactly where they go. They're probably...
I know there are spots down here.
I think they do go. One's probably going to go that way.
Yeah, they go this way. These ones I think are the only ones that are gonna up here at least. There's a spot right here where my middle finger is.
Is that a big hole?
Small hole.
Small hole? Wow. Okay.
Small hole there.
Lower trans bolts, huh? Where? Trans bolts.
correct. They're all threading. They're not loose.
Okay, so we've got 3 of those transmission bolts in. We got 2, with the motor mount bolts are in. So I think we can pull this hoist out of here. Here. Why don't you film while I hoist? How about some commentary there, cameraman, camerawoman?
I don't know what... Hello, people of the internet. This is the commentary that I will now be making.
You will now be listening to commentary.
Yes, very much so.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you see, what he's doing now is he's doing lefty-loosey, or counterclockwise, to untighten the bolts. He has successfully done one. Can he do the second one? He has successfully untightened the second bolt. He will now move on to the second phase. Taking it out. He's now beautifully removed the engine hoist.
The engine is resting where she...
Beautiful.
Nice. These are old head bolts, so I didn't worry about bending them. Okay. I'm tired.
Good for you.
I think those bolts are good enough, and I'm tired. So let's go in, put this stuff away, and after work tomorrow I will bolt the rest of the transmission bolts and torque converter bolts, all that gobbledygoo.
I'm taking a boat out while he goes to work.